Friends in a Podcast. We're so glad you're here.
We're your hosts, Natasha
and Lindsay.
Hey, so what's your favorite place to get coffee?
Aroma Joe's, hands down.
Okay.
Okay.
No, they're fine.
They're fine. I brought you coffee from there today.
I know. I did like it. It was great. I'm not lying. I promise.
Okay, but here's the thing though. I drink sugar-free stuff, and probably people are retching right now that I said that out loud, sugar-free flavorings. But Aroma Joe's has the best sugar-free flavors.
That's
so
fair.
That's why I like to go there. And I just genuinely like their cold brew flavor too.
See, I'm more of the specialty flavors, so I don't have a static 4 creams, 3 sugars. That's not my order. It depends on the season and what the specialty flavors are. So for instance, Starbucks has pistachio out right now. One of my favorites. Love pistachio. I usually go for the odd ones, right? It's not a static thing that's around all the time. At Christmas time, I love the chestnut praline flavor, which again, not around all year long. So it's based on the season. So that is how I live my life. I don't often have one static thing for my whole life. For instance, my husband has had the same favorite movie since he was 8 years old. I can't tell you for certainty that I have one singular favorite movie. My son asks me all the time, Mom, what's your favorite movie? And every time I have to say I don't know, because genuinely I don't know. So if that gives you any indication on things, my coffee order is very similar. It changes based on the season.
I didn't think that I had a favorite movie until we started talking about doing our favorite things. And I don't know that it's my favorite movie, but when I can't figure out what to watch, I instantly turn on Mean Girls.
The new one?
No, the original Lindsay Lohan Mean Girls.
Classic.
Yeah. And
okay.
I could watch that all the time.
See, I don't often go for a movie. I mean, I do love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or The Proposal or The Princess Diaries.
So good. Yeah.
Those are the ones that I think about, but I honestly haven't watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days in probably 6 years. So I can't, is that my favorite? I don't know. So favorites are just hard for me to nail down. I don't know why that is. I guess that you could just say I'm indecisive, but here we are.
Do you have a favorite animal?
See, again, lately I've been saying sea turtles. I do love sea turtles. I think they're the cutest thing.
See, I would have guessed the Highland cow.
I'm also currently obsessed with the Highland cow, but that's a current obsession. I don't know that will stick for a long time, but currently they make me really happy. So yes, I do love Highland cows. And I got to pet one this summer. It was amazing. And I love watching the videos on TikTok of the mini cows. Have you seen those ones?
Yes.
Where they can fit in your car?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So
someday
cute.
I really want to start a farm, except I don't, because I don't like to take care of the animals. I just want to pet them.
Just pet all the animals.
So somebody else can have the farm and I'm going to come visit.
Great. I have been obsessed. I don't know where it started. I couldn't tell you why I started liking them. I just liked giraffes one day and decided that that's what I was going to like. And I have loved them ever since. And you know what's funny is whenever you full-heartedly commit to something and you really like it, then you start telling people you like it. And then that's all they ever buy you when it comes to gifts. I love giraffes. I love going to the zoos and seeing them. I want so badly to go to Africa and go on a real safari and see them in the wild. That is a huge dream of mine. But I do not want giraffe things all the time.
I'm guilty. I've given you so many.
And I love them. But there comes a time whenever every knickknack in your house becomes giraffes.
So see, that's how I felt about gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
For a really long time, I was wholeheartedly invested in this gnome thing.
Mm-hmm.
And every person that I knew at the time would bring me gnomes.
I think I brought you a couple gnomes.
Everyone did. It wasn't just you. And so when we bought our house and I would decorate for Christmas, that's when they would all come out. And I didn't realize how many I had collected until I would bring them out every Christmas. And I was running out of spaces to display them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we moved and had to downsize, I ended up selling all of our gnomes. No, I shouldn't say all of them. I have a select few that I kept that were special. But yeah, I started receiving them from really random people too, not just like my husband or like friends. It was just, hey, I saw this and I know you like gnomes. I'm like, thank you.
It becomes like your identity.
Yes. Although
things.
I will say one of my favorites though, I was working at the church office at the time, and one of my good friends came in carrying this giant gnome, but it was an advent calendar. And so
cool.
it has like a little tiny candy cane, and on the gnome it has like hearts, and you count down. And my boys still to this day love every Christmas that gnome comes out and they count down to Christmas. And that was still by far one of my favorites, and we still have that one. But yeah, it does become your identity for a while, and that's why I'm scared to commit to like saying Highland cows are my favorite, because who knows what will happen.
Your house will be decked out with Highland cows. For sure. That's just the way that it goes. My mom recently sent me a giraffe shirt, and I don't wear a ton of t-shirts with graphics on it. So it's a night shirt, and
My
it's
husband
great.
did that with gnomes. Like, he knew that I loved them, and so as a pick-me-up, he would often surprise me with lots of these things. And he also got me a shirt with gnomes on it, and I am not a person to wear that kind of thing in public. It's also a bright peach color. And if you know me, I wear black and I wear white and I wear
Very neutral colors, yes.
sometimes a burnt orange.
Yep.
Definitely not peach, and definitely not with gnomes on it. So that also is a nightshirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging around the house cleaning,
And they're perfect for that.
That's great.
Yep. What about a place to be? You like the beach.
I do love
Is that
the
like a
beach.
favorite for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll commit to that wholeheartedly. I have recently discovered I don't mind the woods as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like hikes in the woods and stuff is nice, but I just feel so at peace and joyful when I'm by the ocean. So yeah.
Yeah. Lakes are for me. I love being at the lake, and just my favorite thing that I discovered a couple of summers ago was I bought an inner tube, and just getting on the inner tube and letting the lake take me away and closing my eyes, and my favorite by far. I like the ocean, don't get me wrong. My week in Florida that I had, I woke up every morning, caught the sunrise, and that's so peaceful. If I could do that every morning, that would be amazing. But it doesn't compare to me for sitting out on the lake in my little floaty.
Have a lake house someday?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to have something like
dream.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What about a favorite food?
Easy tacos. Hands down.
Sushi for me. I could hands down eat sushi every day.
I'm cringing on the inside for you.
Sorry for
I just can't do the fish. I do like peanut and avocado sushi rolls. They're so cheesy, but I got them at Kume, and it's literally just avocado and peanuts and then rolled. It's great. It's amazing. You dip it in some soy sauce.
It's like faux sushi.
It's great, though.
I'm so happy that you enjoy that, because now we can go out for sushi.
Perfect.
Sounds great.
And tacos for me are just like, they're just so good. And you could have a taco bowl, a salad. There's just so many options.
And so many variations. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Like, it doesn't get old because there's so many different ways. I do like a good chimichanga, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are good, too.
Yep. What about your favorite activity?
Can I go back to being on the lake and...
Yes, that's fine. I would do the same thing. But I also would say reading. I do love reading. Does that count?
Yeah, it does count. I love to read too. Yeah, that definitely counts. Also, okay, I take back the lake and reading. I love both of those things so much. I love festivals.
Okay.
Over the past few years, craft fairs, festivals, the Rin fairs.
Okay.
I love going to the Rin fairs. I love the shows. I love the food. I just love the experience, and regular fairs too. I love the activities of just being outside, and I think I really like people watching, so that plays a part of it. But I don't know. I just think it's so fun to go explore and do those things.
We went to the Highland Games last summer, and that was really fun. We experienced a lot of the culture and the foods again. Like, and if there's any place that has different culture represented and like their foods, I'm always hands down in. Like, take me, let's go try all the things, because I love trying new things. And if that's an activity, I'd probably count that, because I think it's just so fascinating how on our side of the world it's just so different than every other place in the world, and to be able to experience it, I think is so much fun.
Yeah, no, it's so exciting to see, and I agree.
When I lived in the city, that's one of the things I loved the most, was most of the restaurants were these hole-in-the-wall mom and pop shops of literally any kind of ethnic diversity you could think of. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all these countries were represented in all these different variations. You could get anything from pho to homemade plantains from South America, like all these different things. And I loved all of that.
We went to Massachusetts a few years ago, and I do remember we stopped at this hole in the wall family little owned restaurant, and they were from Guatemala, and they had a buffet, and the food was so good, but it wasn't like a standout place.
Right. None of them usually are, but that's where you get some of the best food.
So good. And they were so kind. It was amazing. Great experience.
100%. If you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend find a mom and pop shop of something different. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. To play onto activities too, I've also realized that I love playing tourist in the places that I live currently or used to live.
Yeah.
So when I went to Florida this time, like I went and we did touristy stuff. Like we went to the alligator farm. We went to St. George Street and like explored all of that in the St. Augustine area. And there's just so many tourist spots to see, the fort, all of those things. And so that was really cool. But then even in New England, I've just really enjoyed being a tourist in my own state and doing all of the different attractions or off the beaten path stuff.
You know, since we've moved an hour south of where we used to live, I find that I'm much more willing, maybe willing's not the right word, much more excited about trying something different because we're so outside of anything that was normal anyway, that I guess the adventurous side of me is like, well, let's go find this thing anyway. Like, and I would agree, like being a tourist in your own city is a lot of fun. There's a Greek festival that happens every year in our city. And since we've moved here, it's been on my bucket list to go. And every single year so far, we've either had a sick child or something else going on that we haven't made it. But I just think that the idea of having this big Greek festival and getting to understand Greek culture available is so awesome.
This is the year.
Maybe 2025, here we come. I sure hope so. What kind of book genre is your favorite?
I jump around so much on my genres. I don't know that I have a favorite that I read.
Can't commit to just one.
No, but I do love like a good rom-com novel too.
Oh,
like those are
fun.
good. But I've recently really been into like the twists, like a little bit of thriller, a little bit of mystery, and what's going to happen. Frida McFadden has been an author that I've really just recently enjoyed her books, and she always has like a good little twist at the end. So I've really been enjoying that. Although the last book I read by her had 3 twists at the end, and my eyes were going cross-eyed by the time I got to the last chapter. I'm like, I don't know if emotionally I can handle this anymore. But we got through it, so.
All right. I am solidly a historical fiction all the way. I love the idea of something that happened in history, but a story around it. I read a lot of like World War II novels, and I find those fascinating. But lately I've been getting into like some young adult stuff. Like, it's not really a thriller, but it's more like mystery. And my current obsession is Kristen Hanna. I've read a lot of her books this year already. I read a couple last year too, and her writing style is great. She like immerses you in this whole world, and I just can't get enough of it. So anyway, I've read a bunch of hers this year, and yeah, I do like some nonfiction here and there too, interspersed throughout all of the fictional stuff. But yeah, I think it's a good time. Going to a bookstore, I should have said that. Shopping for books and reading books are 2 different hobbies.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
My husband and I started this thing where every Friday we go to our local Goodwill and we scour for books. I can't tell you how many Kristen Hanna books I found for less than $5. And so now we're kind of obsessed with it. And it's a problem because I don't have enough shelves to store these books we keep buying, nor do I have enough time to read the books we keep buying. But here we are.
That's fair. I keep buying books from Bull Moose, which is a store where you can buy and trade. And so I buy the books, I give them back for credit, and I buy more books. So it works in my favor.
So it's kind of like a library?
Yeah, except for I get money back. And we just keep trading.
Oh, and don't even start on like library books versus books we bought, because that's all another thing. Yeah.
What about a good time. Books on tape? Do you like that at all?
Yeah, I listen to some audiobooks.
Yeah.
So here's the thing though. I don't enjoy, maybe I haven't given enough credit to other ones. I've only read 1, maybe 2 fictional books on audio, and the narrator was awful. and I did not enjoy that experience. However, a lot of books that are like nonfiction and really heavy material, I would much prefer listening to it than I would reading it. 9 times out of 10, if you would have handed me the book, I probably wouldn't get through it. But if there's an audio version, I can get through it way easier.
Same.
I don't know why that is, but
I'm the same way. I don't know if it's just because I like podcasts that are like that, where it's motivational or therapeutic. That's how I enjoy getting that information, like self-help type stuff through a podcast. So I think maybe my brain just translates it better in kind of that same mindset, or absorbs it better as a sponge. It's rare that I will listen to a fiction book for the same reason, is the narration. Harry Potter, however, amazing narration on Harry Potter. He did excellent.
Oh, actually, that's true. We listened to that in the car on our road trip this past summer with the boys, and the narration was great.
He does voices and characters. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to listen to that one.
Yeah, the one that I read this summer, the book that we read, my husband and I both wanted to read it. And we're like, well, let's read it together. And so we thought the easiest way to do that would be to listen to it. And we listened to the whole thing. I just regret that we should have had the hard copy, because the narration kind of ruined it for me. It was still a good story. I just would have preferred reading it, I think.
Yeah. I am listening to one now that is kind of like immersed in this video virtual game world type thing. And they're going into different dungeons and fighting different bosses and monsters and goblins and all of this stuff. And it's fun to actually listen to it, but it has a good narrator, does all the voices and the characters, just like Harry Potter. And my brain kind of gets into that imagination and like picturing what this world look like. And he really brings you in, which is really cool. But if you don't have that type of narrator, I just can't do it.
That's fair. Yeah. So we kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but do you have a favorite show? So we know that Mean Girls is your favorite movie, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it's my go-to movie.
Different than a favorite,
I guess. I don't know. I feel like the same with the shows. I think I have like my top few shows that I would call my favorites. But again, they go back to like they're my go-to. So Boy Meets World, if I don't know what to watch, easy for me just to plug that in, and I could watch seasons of that for days. The same with The Big Bang Theory. I love that TV show so much. I would definitely count that as a favorite. I turn it on all the time. I've probably watched all of the seasons 7 or 8 times over the past few years, just because I love it so much.
Yeah, I would say Friends is definitely my top for sure. Like when I don't know what to watch, or if I'm just cleaning or whatever, I love to have it in the background. And so Friends is definitely my top show. And then after that, I don't really know that I have enough favorites. Like we've watched through Parks and Rec, and I loved that. That was fun. Yeah. I haven't honestly watched through it again, I don't think, since we finished it the first time. But I do love the show. And that I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that stands out that much. I do watch a lot of Boy Meets World. My son and I just finished watching it all the way through. And so that was really fun to watch it as an adult and through my son's eyes. Yeah. Which was really fun. So that was a good experience. And I could quote most episodes of the college years, because I used to watch that a lot when I lived on my own. I bought off of I think it was eBay or something, like these bootleg DVDs that somebody had recorded off the Disney Channel, and I paid somebody for those DVDs thinking that it was the actual show, until half of the seasons were missing. And anyway, the ones that I loved were all there, so I just watched those ones a lot. And but yeah, Boy Meets World is definitely up there too.
Yeah, I can't think of any others. Boy Meets World is it's such a classic. Same with Friends. I agree. That's another good one. I don't know. I read an article one time that said, when it comes to TV shows and movies, that it's decision fatigue, that you just go to what you like, because you don't want to have to be introduced to new characters and decide if you like those new characters and decide if you like the show or if you like the plot and all of this stuff. So it's just easy to go back to what you like. So I don't know if it's a favorite or if I'm just really exhausted.
Well, on that same vein, I just saw a reel today or yesterday, and they were talking about how on TV Land, when we were kids, the reruns were like Gilligan's Island and all these shows from the 60s. On TV Land now, it's Friends and Everybody Loves Raymond and all this stuff. And they were saying that in your 30s, something happens where you stop introducing new things and you just watch what you are used to. And it makes so much sense because even if I go to my mother-in-law's house, what's playing on her TV? All the shows she grew up watching from like the 60s and 70s. What's playing on my TV? Friends. So like, I think there's something valid here that when you hit your 30s, you're like, I'm done. Like, I don't care what new stuff you make. I don't care what's coming out. And I still watch some newer things,
Sure.
but I find more comfort in watching the things I already know.
It's true. You know, actually, now that you say that, one of my favorite things to watch is reality TV. Like, I love Big Brother. I love Survivor. So if I'm thinking like favorite TV shows that are current, that's my go-to.
Sure.
Gordon Ramsay, give me every show he makes because I am obsessed with that man. And
Interesting.
I love Gordon.
I just learned something new.
I just would love to meet him face to face. I think he's great. I would be terrified of him, but he's great. But reality TV is like what I watch. There's a couple of shows in there that I throw in, 911, Grey's Anatomy, but like hook, line, and sinker for me right now is reality TV. But when it comes to shows that have thick plots, you're right. Like, I just want to know what's familiar and go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started watching Elsbeth this year,
Mm-hmm.
the like cop detective show from CBS. And that one I found interesting because it's not super heavy. Like, yeah, they're investigating murders and stuff, but because of her character, she's like fun and quirky and kind of offbeat. And that one I've been able to get into for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the newest show I've started in a really long time. And it's funny because I was talking to a friend recently and we were talking about the Oscars and like the red carpet and like all this stuff. And I was scrolling through an article about like the best dressed and whatever. I didn't know like any of the people that were on the red carpet. And I was like, what, who are these people and how did you become famous? And my friend, he was like, absolutely 100%. If you weren't in a movie with Jennifer Aniston, I don't know who you are. And I couldn't have agreed more to that because if you weren't famous in the early 2000s, late 90s, I don't know who you are or how you became famous. And then you throw in, you have all these influencers now. So you have YouTubers and Instagram people, and then you've got TikTok. I can't keep up with that.
No, thank you.
And now I feel like I sound like my parents. And being in your 30s is just a wild experience. That's all I have to say.
I agree. Yeah.
So those are some of our favorite things. We'd love to hear what some of your favorite things are, whether it's iced coffee or your favorite show. Let us know, and we hope you have a great week.
That's a wrap on this episode of Two Main Friends in a Podcast. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. You can also send us an email at twomainfriends@gmail.com. And as always, leave us a review wherever you're listening.